Good morning. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I did. Kim is not with me this morning, so I won't have the benefit of her assistance, so I'll have to kind of switch back and forth over to the questions to see if we have any. The format of this morning update is I'll update you on what I've been doing. I'll give you the plan for the coming few days, and then I'll address any questions. So let's jump right in. So I guess what I've been working on, and I'll have to kind of maybe project because I've got my laptop over here on the workbench, is I have been working on the pulley for the drivetrain on the lathe. I also worked on the spindle. I completed that work on Thursday. Friday I started the pulley, or mostly finished the pulley, and then yesterday afternoon I made some more progress on the mounting up the motor. Ran into some issues, I'll talk about those, but I guess the other big thing is I got a bunch of wood back from the kiln, so all these slabs had been dried out and now they're ready for use in different projects. But that's what I've been up to. I guess let's talk about some of the issues that I ran into over on the shaper. I was really happy with this pulley here that I made. This came off of the treadmill that I got the motor from, and the hub that it, or the tube, the steel tube that it mounts to directly drives the belt for the treadmill. So it really wasn't suitable for mounting onto this is a half-inch shaft here. It wasn't suitable. So I had to, I ended up using a bearing puller to get it off inadvertently. I was really trying to get the bearing out of the end, but ended up getting the pulley off of the shaft. Because the shaft is sized correctly and pretty tight tolerances, both inside and outside diameter, I decided to cut a section from that shaft, turn a piece of steel, just because that's what I had for stock close at hand. So I turned that down, measured it, really happy with the fit that I got. Put in a set screw and got that mounted up. So that went well. Oh yeah, Thursday I put in alignment pins into the headstock bearing caps. I replaced the bearings. I used alignment pins in the oil holes on top. So there is a pin that goes down through the bearing cap and almost all the way through the bearings to keep the bearings from rotating. I ground down one side of the bearing pin so that oil can flow beside of it. It seems to also help regulate oil flow. I put in thrust washers on either side of the headstock. I used my countersinking counterboring sander jig that I made up to do the counterbores on the outside of the headstock where the shaft collars mount, and that seemed to go really well. I think that was a good little tool for that job. Now, I did have this running, but the issue is I think this counter shaft engagement mechanism is letting me down. I think it's time maybe to upgrade this as well. And the reason I say that is this shaft is apparently not parallel with this shaft because my belt wants to walk. I thought I did a pretty good job of trying to get those things aligned, but I've got to do a little research and figure out how to get this shaft parallel with the motor so that way I can adjust the pulley and keep it from walking off. Another thing I found out, all you folks who were concerned about the direction that the motor goes, the motor spins just fine, but this hub with the pulley integrated is threaded. So in one direction it works its way off. It's the direction for the lathe. So if the lathe is spinning, in this direction, the motor wants to unthread from that pulley. If it's spinning in the direction of the shaper, then it wants to tighten up. So this is a function of, the treadmill is designed to run forward. You don't get on the treadmill and go backwards. So the hub is designed to thread onto the motor shaft in one direction only. Yeah, so what am I working on next? Next I'm going to be getting the alignment issues sorted out on the shaper. Probably means I'm going to, because I think I'm having some flex type issues. So when I tighten up the belt, this thing tends to rack, and I think that's causing my alignment problems. So probably redoing this today, maybe tomorrow, moving on to actually making up some type of apparatus to hold the electronics that are just sitting over here on the side. Then I guess mounting the shaper on the table and making a shaft here with a pulley that will directly drive the shaper, which will face the other direction. So that's kind of a long update for today, but I think I'm happy with the pulley, and I'm happy with the approach, but I've got a little bit more work to do over there before I can get back onto the mill. Oh, one other thing, I did receive 10 of these 4-pound-ish bars. It must have been a little under because they sent me an extra one to make weight, but I've got the zamak that I need. I also machined a carriage. However, what I'm doing is I'm gluing 2 of these sheets of polystyrene insulation together, and I'm not taking off the facing material. The end mill does not cut the facing very well, so I think I'm going to have to remove that before gluing, laminating the sheets together for use on the X-Carve. The other thing I think I need to do is figure out a way to flip the part. I had cut the pads that go on this side and was intending to glue them separately, but I'm not sure that's the best. I'll probably give it one more shot, but anyway, that's more of what I've been up to. Let's see if there's any questions over here. Thrust washer's good idea. Yeah. Okay, well, it's good to have you guys on. It doesn't look like there's any questions that I need to address right now. So if special favor, if you have a playlist or video or a website article that goes into good detail about how to get a motor shaft aligned with a pulley shaft, I'd like to have that resource available to me to kind of speed my progress this morning, to not have to find that excellent resource, especially since I'm sure you all have good knowledge of that type of thing. So anyway, yeah, I'm back at it, and I guess I'll talk to you guys again on Thursday. Thanks.